Right, we have a pair of Dan Clark audio, I think it is, Ether C, the closed back carbon fibre jobbies in, and I was told that there's a bit of a rattle coming from one of the sockets, and sure enough, one of them wibbles around a little bit. Yeah, so have a look at that. But yeah, this kind of thing always worries me, because when you get something that sounds a little bit too easy, I don't know, I've had some where they say, oh yes, just stop, the sound isn't coming out of one side, I can't tell what it is, and then you get it in, the cable's like ripped out and they're just destroyed. Whereas these ones, it looks like that might just actually be the problem. I've had a listen to them, it doesn't sound like either the drivers have got an issue. I think the only issue is this loose socket, so it might be the easiest fix in the world, I don't know. I can see two little grub screws in there. I'm wondering if it's just a case of giving that a tighten, but I don't know. Or just readjusting it in some way. Right, I'm just going to grab the appropriate tools. But yeah, so you can see on the side here, there's a concave surface in the center there, which would have been much more difficult to make. But it does mean that you haven't got a flat surface for the sound to bounce off on. So it's going to bounce onto this and get diffused back out. So it's not going to cause standing waves and stuff in there. So it's a nice little something. Nope. Not got any movement there. There's probably some thread lock, which means I might have to warm it up, but I don't want to heat up stuff unnecessarily, so I may set the soldering iron at a super low temperature and just touch the actual nut in there. So if I can crank this down to 100 degrees, that's probably a nice safe temperature. Just wait for that to heat up. So what I'm doing is I'm just heating up the grub screw, will hopefully soften any kind of thread lock that they've got on there and allow me to undo it. Give it a couple more seconds, let it heat up. Oh, there we go. So 150 degrees, turns out, is about where you want it. Oh, thought that wasn't going to come then. Cool, right, that's one out. Let's try the same on the other one. So I've got the soldering iron set to 150 degrees. I've got quite a pointy tip and I'm poking it into that there grub screw. Just letting the soldering iron heat it up for a minute or two. I hope that that will break down the glue that's holding it in place. There we go. That's that one loose as well. Oh, yeah, it wasn't quite as easy as I thought. I thought a couple of grub screws, do them up tighter, happy days. Right, so now our little socket is loose. And what I might do is just stick a little bit of, because it is a little bit loose in the socket there, I might just put a little bit of PTFE around it so that if it does move it doesn't cause a rattly sound. So now what I'm going to do is press that firmly back into place and then do these back up. Now we have a nice solid socket. So that's good. That's good. Wasn't too bad. But anyway, well, yeah, so I'm going to I'll probably back those back out and put some thread lock on those now I know that that's fixed it. But yeah, let's have a look at these. These are quite nice, aren't they? Cool. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, just nicely made. Like, oh, beautifully machined parts and anodized and carbon fiber. It's a nice pair of headphones. Yeah, Dan Clark audio. I think they started out as MrSpeakers and they were mainly modifying T50 RPs and then they moved on to this. So Maybe if I ever get enough money together, I might design my own headphones and see where it goes from there. Because yes, I do admire these. The headband, I don't know, because you want it to be nice and light. But I feel that this bit could be a little bit sexier. These are so nice, and then this just looks a little bit like coat hanger wire. And I'm sure it does a fine job, but I just think from a design point of view, it could be a little bit, the headband could be a little bit nicer on those. Not sure what I would do, but I'd add some knurled features or something, or a little bit of carbon fiber on there or something, just to pep it up a bit. There's this expanse of, I think maybe if that was a matte black, something like that. I don't know. There's something that's not. Yeah, I think that should have the same finish as these ear caps, the kind of matte finish. The shiny black, I think, draws attention to it too much and makes it look different from the look of the rest of this thing. So you should either have like a carbon fiber bow to match this, or matte black metal. But it's difficult because I can see they're clearly trying to keep the weight down, and that is a nice minimalistic thing from a weight point of view. But yeah, I think either a thicker bit of metal across there, thicker bit of thin steel, spring steel, matte black, or some carbon fiber. Yeah, so the headband I would redesign. The rest of it I like. So anyway, that's that was a relatively easy fix for the Ether C. Nice easy win. So if you've got a wobbly socket, that's what I would advise you to do. So just heat up the little grub screws in there. I used a soldering iron to do that. I heated up to about 100, nothing. Heated up to 150, they came loose. So I think that might be it. You need it just over 100 degrees. Let it heat up for a couple of minutes, and then you can back the screws out, and then you could just press it back in firmly, do the screws back up, and then it won't be wobbly anymore. But I added just a little bit of tape around the thing just to widen up the socket a bit, just so that if it does get loose, it doesn't kind of rattle around in there. It can't wobble as much as it was before. So there you go. That's possibly a nice easy socket fix for the Ether C. No, likety, subscribity, blah 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 blah. You know, do stuff. Anyway, on to something else.